Hi, everybody, and welcome. Note, we still don't have any audio, bud.
And I don't
There
see
we
it.
go. Wait. There we go. We got audio now. Maybe we didn't have it because we didn't have the mic on. Hey, all right. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Mike Vogiatzakis show. It's Brad Wilder. Yes, it's kind of a strange night tonight here at the studio because we're not in my studio anymore. We're actually in Mike's, and we're going to get into the show tonight in just a few minutes. As some of you may know, that we're not sitting in my studio. Mike's got a brand new studio that we've set up at his house now, and he's all dialed up because I'm going to be moving off to Manitoba in the next couple of weeks. Or Manitoba, I already live there.
Guess
I'm
what?
going to be moving to Alberta.
You're leaving me.
I'm leaving you, but I hope to come back here and there and make sure that I check in on you because I know, we've had a friendship for over 40 years and it's been a lot of fun. I guess it's good evening and welcome to the new Mike Vogiatzakis show tonight. We're April 29th. We're just days away, the final days to campaign kickoff, and Mike Vogiatzakis running for mayor position here in the city of Winnipeg. Are you guys going to vote for Mike out there?
It's going to be interesting.
Comment section is wide open tonight. We've got lots of people just starting to come online, obviously. We're going to try to stay up to date with all of your comments this evening and see if we can get to everybody's reactions.
And you know what? It's kind of a surprise, show that we're doing tonight. Just coming online at 9:19, just to check things out and see how things are working.
Yeah, nobody was really expecting any of this, right, Mike?
Yeah,
except us.
Heather's watching like normal, and Sharon Foster's watching the show
That's
tonight.
right. Yeah.
Julie Hall and a whole bunch of other people are
George
coming
came on just now. Debbie McKenzie's here from Tabor. So even Tabor people in Alberta are hearing about us tonight that we've got the new studio going. And thank you for coming in and joining with us. As we build up tonight's show, it's all about lighting up Mike's campaign and his social media. And that's what's been happening over the past couple of days.
It's been lighting up big time.
It sure has. So let's just start tonight's show. And this episode is going to be one that's been lighting up social media, dividing conversations, and raising some serious questions about where our city is headed. We're talking about spending, reconciliation, public reaction, and whether Winnipeg is losing focus on the basics that actually affect people's daily lives. Now, Mike, you've been at the center of this storm, so let's get into it. In this first segment, we're going to discuss, back up a bit there, the post that sparks everything, and it was an interesting post. So let's start there. You made a post about city spending recently, and it turned into something way bigger than you thought, over 300 shares, 200 or 300,000 views. And what was your intention there, pal? To get 200,000, 300,000 views? You going for the money on Facebook? Hey, or are you...
That's never my intention. My intention was simple. It was accountability. I asked a question about how taxpayers' money would be spent. That's it. No hate, no division, just a question.
Yeah, that's right.
But what happened next says a lot. We're a city kind of just divided with each other. Instead of discussing an issue, people turned it into something racial.
They did, didn't they?
Something personal, and something it was never meant to be. How do you turn a post about money and the cost of a sign into something terribly racial?
Exactly.
And that's a problem, because when we can't even ask questions without being attacked, we stop having real conversations.
So why do you think everything turns into a racial issue, Mike, so quickly? Because that's what happened yesterday with that post, and that just kind of blew up. And it, nothing was said there racially motivated at all. It was really about the spending, the budget, making sure that we allocate the funds properly for projects going forward, and not just a street sign name. It wasn't about the name. It was about the cost to put that name up there.
It had nothing to do with the name.
That's right. It could have been Brad or Mike Drive.
Somebody brought up a point. They said, well, if it was Hellebuck Street or, would you have caused the same commotion? I would have said yes.
Well, he's going to protest the Backman Turner Overdrive next. Right.
I think because emotions are high, and rightfully so. There's real history, real pain, and real trauma. But I think here's the truth. We can acknowledge that history and still ask how money is being spent today. Those two things are not opposites, but they can exist together, Brad. The problem is when people assume intent instead of listening, when a question about spending becomes labeled as hate, that shuts down dialogue. And when dialogue stops, progress stops. And that's exactly what happened here. And, the attacks that happen, it seems like a lot of people didn't even read the post. Did you read the post before you?
That happens a lot, doesn't it, these
It's like,
days?
oh, you know, it was a racially intended post for hate and anger and putting. Listen, I'm the most loving, caring guy you'll ever meet in your life. I don't hate anybody.
How many
And,
native friends
and
do we have?
yeah, and
I lived in Thompson, Napaw, Flin Flon, Pincher Creek, Prince Albert. I've met every tribe across the western provinces.
yeah, and you know what? I mean, my whole family has Indigenous people working for us, and
Yeah.
you know, the last thing that I am is racist. As a matter of fact, anyone who knows me knows that I treat people equally, and I think that's the way it should be. Each person should be treated like an individual, and there's no such thing as race. And I truly believe if you're going to run a city, treat everybody fairly, treat everyone as they belong, and we're all equal in God's eyes, and that's the way I look at it too. It's nothing about.
Now, this isn't the first personal hit that you've taken, right? Because I've seen others that have been attacking you too. And I got to ask you, because, you know, you got to have a pretty big set of cojones, as they say, to be the mayor, especially in a city like Winnipeg. It's not the easiest job in the world. And the last guy proved how hard it actually is. You can take all the photo ops you want. You still got to get things done in this city. And that's where, you know, your level of understanding comes in. But let's talk again. What about the effect on you personally? Are you walking down the street and people are screaming your name, or are they still going up to you and go, Mike for mayor?
There's that guy who's with the racial slur. You know, of course it does. I'm human like everyone else, and I have feelings, but I also understand something. If you're going to step up and speak out, especially in a city like Winnipeg right now, you're going to face criticism, and that's just part of it. What matters is staying grounded in truth. I don't respond to hate. I don't attack people personally. I bring back the issue every single time, and that issue is about love, care, and compassion, because it isn't about
Not
me.
color? Sorry.
It's about the future of the city. And if we're going to have a future in the city, you need a mayor who's going to step outside of the box and have difficult conversations. And this is a difficult conversation.
It can very much can be a difficult conversation, no doubt about that, Mike. One of the things that wasn't so clear, and we want to be clear about it, what was the post actually about? It wasn't about Aboriginals or Aboriginal names or what Bishop Grandin had done. It was about money.
It had nothing to do with that sign whatsoever, except for the money that came out of taxpayers' wallets to put that sign up. Whether it was any name you want it to be, it would have been the same issue. And what I'm bringing up is real priorities. We have people struggling right now, seniors choosing between food and medication, as you know, families dealing with crime, roads falling apart, transit is not working for people. And my question is simple. Are we focusing on what matters most? That doesn't mean we ignore history. It means we balance it with the needs of today. And that's the real reality here, is having a real conversation about what the city needs today, where that money can go, where it can be allocated to make it better for Winnipeggers to get to work. And, you know, I've talked to a million people who've had damage to their vehicles this year because they've hit potholes and either taken out their front end or their tires or their rims. And I think that's really unfair to citizens when, you know, our priority should be our infrastructure.
You know, it kind of feels like people can't disagree anymore, Mike. And that's something that's not just felt through online posts. I think people see that every day in their actual jobs and throughout, you know, going shopping and all of it. There's lots of frustration in the world. It seems as though we just can't get away without it. And it's turning ugly a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly the issue, Brad. We've lost the ability to have respectful disagreements.
Right.
You could support something I question. I could question something you support. That doesn't make it either bad for either person. A strong city is built on conversation, not cancellation.
I agree.
And when we cancel out the conversation, we have big problems.
And that's one of the most important parts, is getting the open dialogue happening. And you've been instrumental at that for the past several months. It's not just something you started for the campaign. You were doing this before, and it started 6 or 7 years ago when you started your newspaper column. It started in the Winnipeg Free Press. It transitioned into working with the other guy who we don't talk about much anymore, and then into me. And here we are. And now it's going to transition into something even more, I guess, dynamic than what you've done, which is real results, real plan, real energy, real solutions. And I know everybody's hounding you for those, aren't they? Like, holy cow, you guys back off a little bit. Come on. He's going to tell you right away. We're only 29, 30, and then there's no 31 this month, is there? So we're going to be on May 1st. Is it May 1st
May
today?
1st. So May 1st is the day you can register.
What day is that? Sunday or Monday?
I think that's Friday, isn't it? Friday?
Oh,
May
Friday.
1st?
This Friday?
I think so.
Okay, so
So I don't know if I'm going to register right on May 1st, but when I go in there, it's not as if I'm going to come out and throw a bunch of.
what do you mean? We're not going down there Friday morning at 8:05 and doing this? We got to be there at 8:05. We'll take the video cameras. We'll be there live.
No kidding, eh? But I think what people are expecting, and it's not real, is they're expecting solutions right now, and they want me to give them my whole platform.
You're 2 days away, folks. 2 days away. That's it.
How this is going to work is we're going to release probably 1 or 2 points of my platform each month.
Yeah.
Until we get to the big platforms, which is closer to election time.
But there's a lot to talk about with each platform, and that's the interesting part. You're going to say
because
we're going
it's
to talk
real
about
solutions.
we're going to talk about a platform, but that means we're going to talk about the issue at hand. We're going to talk about the solutions. We're going to talk about other things in terms of future development that continue on past your mayoral run or mayoral candidacy, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this is about a pattern. We get distracted by emotional debates while the fundamentals fall apart. Like public safety, infrastructure, transit, affordability, accountability.
Things that are long term, things that are going to have to continue to be, I guess, developed through infrastructure along the way and advancements that come up along the way too. Like, from bus shelters to all kinds of things.
It's things that affect every single person in the city every day. It's not something that we just pick and choose. It's real issues that happen on a daily basis. And if we don't refocus, nothing changes.
If I could just take, I'm going to bring this off for just a second from what we're doing, because I think we got the time tonight.
You think?
I think. Now, look, I'm not looking for your solution to this problem, but I think we have to discuss it a little bit. You talk about crime a lot. Your brother was murdered in 2024 on Portage Avenue in front of his restaurant, the Cork and Flame at the time.
Correct.
And when we talk about justice, I know the court case and everything is going to back up here in May or June, and that's going to be obviously another tough time for you. But realistically, if you become mayor, how do you see yourself handling crime going forward? Like, is that something that you as a mayor or any mayor deals with? Is it the police chief now? Is it the premier? How does that work? Are they under your jurisdiction as mayor?
No. So, the mayor takes care of issues in the city. The premier takes care of issues in the province, and of course, the prime minister takes care of everything federal.
So does he have RCMP under his belt then, and you have city police under yours?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So the way I look at it is, if I'm going to be mayor, if you're looking for
sort of like Gotham City is what we're saying.
Yeah.
So the mayor calls the police chief in, reams him out, tells him what he's doing.
So I think if you're looking at me being the mayor of the city next, you could call it a city mayor, but I won't be sitting too often because I'll be very active in finding solutions to problems in our city, and I want a safer city. And of course, the drive for me to run for mayor was all to do with my brother being murdered in the city of Winnipeg, and to do with the catch and release program, and how somebody on a promise to appear never appears until they actually kill someone. And these are real situations that are happening to real people. It happened to our family, and it's happening to a million other families who are victims of crime because of the catch and release system. So a mayor's job isn't to fix it. A mayor's job is to be the voice of the city and make enough noise that change is actually going to happen. And tell the prime minister and the premier what's hurting our city and what we need to do to make it a safer, more productive city, to keep our youth here, to keep our seniors safe. There's so much we need to do to make Winnipeg better. And if the time comes that I become mayor, you could be assured that I'll be very active at making all kinds of changes, but common sense changes, not changes that mean nothing, changes that affect people's lives every day.
That's something that Ray Ulse, or
Ray Ulsa.
Ulassi. Ray Ulassi. Did I say that right, Ray? Hopefully I did, buddy. We know you're online with us, so that's great. Glad you chimed in on the comments. He says, "Hey, Mike," and this is a good timing for this because your rational and reasonable approach to necessary solutions for our city is what's going to put you in the mayor's office. Your work ethic alone puts you ahead of the pack. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. I have a strong work ethic, whether it's my time as a funeral director and embalmer, or if I'm going to be a mayor of a city. Be assured that I will be your voice. And I think it's time that the citizens of Winnipeg had a voice in City Hall. Somebody who stands up for them, looks out for their best interests, and makes sure that everything that's going to happen is happening for the right reasons. I'm not about wasting money or spending money foolishly. I'm about solutions to problems, and I look at it as running a business. The city of Winnipeg is a business, needs to be run like a business, not spending foolish money. You know, I talked about this on another show.
Right.
If I was to build a garage and a contractor gave me a quote on that garage, well, I'm going to kind of go on that quote. That's what you gave me. That's what the price should be. But it seems like runovers are nonstop with city planning, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, 100,000 over, 200,000 over. And lately I've been talking about the money the city, look, $400,000 spent on a temporary bike path. Temporary bike path, $400,000. That's hard-earned citizens' money.
Is that on Goulet?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, this is a good time to mention this because Lisa Tarrant, and I haven't seen Lisa's name come up on any of our chats over the last, you know, many episodes that we've done. But hi, Lisa. Thanks for being here tonight. The money spent was just plain stupid. And there will be many more name changes to come, she figures. Mike, she says it's not a priority at this time. The city wastes so much money and our hard-earned tax money going out the window to stuff like this.
And
they could have just added the little name at the bottom if they wanted
well, here's what I look at it. You know, we could have. This was about children and the children's walkway. So I look at it as we could have built this beautiful playground with pools and a community club and something that it had to do with children and the love we could have brought out and you know, helping maybe mental illness and drugs and addiction. And it could have been a place where people come together and show a lot of love.
Right.
And it would have been meaningful. It would have been something that the city carries and everybody would have loved it. So again, this had nothing to do with the sign or the name change. It had to do with the cost, the value of money that we're spending that's coming out of your pockets. And if you don't want to talk about that, that's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Because that's why the city's in debt. And that's why the city continues to be in debt, because they're doing things that just don't make sense to the average citizen. We're going to talk about bike paths later on, how those don't make any sense and how much money is actually going to be spent on bike paths. Foolish, considering Winnipeg is a winter city.
People are watching tonight. They may be just joining us now because we came on a little late and we're doing this from your studio instead of mine.
Did you hear him? It's my studio tonight.
It's your studio, buddy. It's yours. I'm running the controls though still, but we'll get you there. People are watching. So what do you want people to understand tonight about all of our discussion and everything else?
I think what people need to understand, and if anyone knows me and has met me and has had a coffee with me or just a conversation, you know that I respect every community in the city. I respect the history of the city and where people come from. I respect the pain people have lived.
I want to know where else you've lived in your lifetime.
I've lived in Winnipeg. Winnipeg is my home. My parents came from Greece, but Winnipeg has been my home. I've been here since I was born.
I've been across the prairies and back again, and you've stayed here the whole time. So is there a better guy to run this city? I mean, I've known him for 40 years, and I tell you what, he's been a stand-up guy the whole way along when he used to pay me money back then, and he still pays money today, too.
Brad used to work for me. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's
but I also want people to know that I respect taxpayers. I respect families trying to get by every day. I respect seniors who built this city, and I'm sick of the seniors being pushed aside and treated like they don't belong. You do belong in a city. You built the city, and you deserve to live the remainder of your life with all the love, care, and compassion that a city can give you. We don't have to choose over one another. We can move forward together, but only if we start listening instead of attacking each other violently and calling people names right off the top.
That's one of the big ones, isn't it?
It's terrible to be for somebody just to call you a racist or to use some of the other names people have been calling me, and it's like, really? Did you read the post? The post has nothing to do with what you're saying.
At all, period. None. Mike, the kids in this city, whether they're teenagers or whether they're, in elementary school, it kind of doesn't matter. Kids are the most important thing in life. They're our future. They're the ones who are going to take care of us when we're older.
Right.
And let's talk a little bit about how you're going to do something with the kids going
You know
forward.
what I plan on doing as mayor of the city is being very active with your children, the kids of the city, the future of the city, where you go to schools and you give these kids hope and faith that tomorrow's a better day, that you do have a chance, you do
Is
have
that
an
your private
opportunity.
jet landing outside? Your airplanes.
Um,
Sorry about
you know,
that.
that every child has a better tomorrow in the city, because we are going to make it a place where you want to live, and you want to listen. You want to create an environment where kids are safe. You want to create an environment where kids are more active in sports and in music and in plays and all the things that kids love to do. We want to make sure parents can afford to do that, because the kids are our future, and we need to start talking to our kids, educating our kids, and teaching them what life's really all about, and how they can make their life better, and how you can be successful. And I think the more we talk to our children, the better off we're going to be in the future.
I agree with you, Mike. I think that's the biggest part is connecting with our kids.
I wish, when I was young, I wish a mayor would have came to my school and talked to the kids and gave us hope.
Does a mayor have any pull in education and what goes on here with the education system in Winnipeg?
I don't think so, but you do have a voice. Again, maybe the current mayor doesn't use his voice, but be assured Michael Vogiatzakis will use his voice and cause as much noise as I have to until people listen to me.
Right.
That this city needs help. This city is in dire need of help and change.
And we're talking about schools. It's our kids.
Yeah,
Now,
and what's happening in our schools? I mean, many of the schools have used needles and all kinds of drug stuff happening in their playgrounds, and I think that's just wrong. And no child should have to grow up like that. We're not a third world country.
that's correct. We're not supposed to be anyway. We weren't before the past 6 years. Things change, obviously, and that's the concern that I know a lot of people have out there. It's not just myself. Final thoughts tonight, Mike. There's a lot coming up on this particular next topic, but let's wrap this one up here.
I think this is bigger than a post, Brad.
I
This
agree.
is about the kind of city we want to be. A city where questions are allowed, a city where people are heard, a city where leaders focus on what truly matters. If we get that right, everything else follows. And that's a real important statement, because it's time for open conversations, listening, caring, and loving each other. And we need to unite as one. And for those people that are passing on fear mongering and hate and anger and calling people names, we need to just stop with that. We need to unite to make Winnipeg a better city. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your children or grandchildren. But we are going to make Winnipeg a city that you're going to be proud of, a city where you're not going to want to leave, because we are going to offer something right here in this city for you.
Well, absolutely, Mike. Let's bring in your post from today about bike lanes. I guess this is another topic that gets people fired up fast here in your position. They want to talk to the man himself and say, hey, what's
I
up?
just want to answer something about Mike Cherry said, interesting comment, Mike. In my day, it was the parents' duty to talk to the children. And, that's another big problem we have with people struggling financially right now and barely being able to put food on the table, and some struggling to choose between medication and food. It's a tough time for people. And with this happening, meaning both parents need to be at work and they're both tired when they get home, and then there's duties to do when you get home. And sometimes the kids get pushed aside, not because you want to, but because there's only so much time in the day. So when I say as a mayor that I will speak to children, I'll do it on a mayor's perspective and as a parent's perspective, because I am a parent and I've coached hockey and I've been involved in sports and taught kids.
Number one reason, you're a leader. You're a leader, not a follower. And that's the biggest difference there between maybe other leadership that this city's ever seen.
And you're never going to find a person with a bigger heart than Mike Vogiatzakis, because I truly care about people. So that's why
you can fight with him.
I get a laugh out of people calling me a racist, because I'm like, really? Anyone who knows me knows that's not true.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't bother him as much as you would like to think it does. It's all been said before along this journey of our 60 years on the planet. So it's not something that we haven't been dealing with before, whether it was in elementary school or high school along the way. We've kind of dealt with those things constantly, whether it's business and having frustrations and different things come up along the way. But, let's bring your post.
It's going to be interesting these next few days when you actually get into the campaign mode and
Yeah.
you see how many volunteers come out.
Things
So we're
change,
going to
right?
do a call for volunteers. Once I'm registered, we're going to do a call for volunteers. We're going to set up a place where we're going to get signatures. We're going to need 250 signatures. We're going to be doing some speeches and some releasing some campaign issues. So that's going to be coming up because a lot of people say, how can I help? How can I get involved? How can I get assigned? You can't get assigned till August, by the way, but there's a lot of good things going to happen. And I can tell you that
You can buy newspaper ads, though, starting soon, eh?
I have a lot of solutions to a lot of the problems that.
Does anybody read the newspaper anymore?
Hey, look, even Al Bueller's joining us tonight, and I wonder what he's doing up.
I didn't know he was on. Okay, great. Good to see you, Al. Hope you drank that 12-pack I bought you last week. Thanks a lot for coming
So
over.
Al
and
Bueller was
that
doing some work at Brad's house.
Yeah, a little bit. Fixing some holes that got put into the wall. We got to get those fixed before we get out of town.
So for those of you who've joined us late, Brad is leaving us. He's leaving Winnipeg and going back to
Alberta, through Saskatchewan, of course, because there's no other way to get there. We'll take that bumpy green road all the way across, and then by the time we get to Alberta, we'll see the sunshine, the mountains, and I hope the planes aren't flying over there. We'll see, though. Danielle's kind of taking care of that.
Brad says he's going to be a great part of the show.
Sick of the cloudy days in Manitoba that we keep seeing, and every day it's back and forth with them.
Isn't it crazy? We're in April,
is.
and it's yeah. Anyways, Brad's still going to be with us and being part of the show and being part of the campaign, and he's going to do it from afar. But he is going to fly in the odd time and be a part of it.
I'm going to do my best, man. If you
right
think
here
I
in my
can.
studio.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
Brad, thanks for helping me set up the studio.
You're very welcome. It looks really good in here, and I see there's a bed over there I could sleep in, and I can live my dream of
There you go.
sleeping in the studio all night long, just like I used to do. Okay, this is another topic that gets people fired up fast. What's your position on this? Maybe just scroll up a bit, and I can take a look at what that topic is, because I'm not even sure. I think we're talking about something.
This is bike lanes.
Bike lanes.
Yeah,
that's
this is
right.
so
These
about,
bike paths have been popping up for what, 6 years now, 7 years?
Yeah.
I've seen them happening in other cities too. It's not just ours, Mike. A lot of them, they're not just for bike paths, they're also for scooters. I noticed in a couple of cities, like Lethbridge, Alberta, for example, the city was flooded with scooters from a company. They drop them all off. They get to leave them wherever they want to. You swipe your card or scan your card to get the thing going. You pay X amount of dollars per mile or kilometer or foot or whatever it is. And you can ride this mini scooter from
until
here
it
to
runs
there.
out, and then you just leave it there. It's kind of funny.
And
actually.
that's right. You just jump off and leave it hanging. So
Yeah.
I guess we're going to see some of that obviously transpiring here in Winnipeg. Is that fair to say?
I think so. What we just talked about. This is a very similar talk that we're going to have right now. The moment you question something like bike lanes, people immediately put you into a box.
Yeah.
You're anti-cycling. You don't care about the environment. That's not what this is about. This is about balance and priorities. And I'm kind of sick of people. You call them the left wing,
Well,
or the right wing.
no, it's left.
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle, and I'm doing things for the right reason. So we're going to talk about bike lanes right now.
So you're not against bike lanes?
Not at all.
Are you sure?
If bike lanes are planned properly, used properly, they make sense in every area.
Don't we have bike trails everywhere, like Assiniboine Park and all at Kildonan Park and everywhere else in between every neighborhood?
I
Do
think,
we not have bike trails?
I think
Why-
bike trails
just-
have, a place in modern history.
Bike lanes and bike trails, two different things, right, Mike?
Well, bike lanes have a place in a modern city, which we plan on making Winnipeg.
Sure.
here's the issue.
For a month and a half of the year.
We're making decisions in a vacuum.
There's
We're
11
adding
the 10 and a half other months there of winter.
we're
Just
adding,
saying.
we're adding infrastructure without always asking the hard questions. Is it being used consistently? That's what you're talking about. Does it
Right.
make sense for our climate? What's the cost versus the benefit? What are we taking away to put it in? Because every decision has a trade-off.
Sure.
And you see what's happening. I mean, bike lanes are going out onto the street,
Right.
back up. I have a solution for that too that we are going to talk about during my campaign. But I think
Are
you're
you going to
doing
rip up more roads?
no.
Because we don't need more construction.
Be
in this city
assured,
unless you're
be
filling
assured,
potholes, buddy.
be assured, I'm not slowing down traffic. And what's happening now is, you notice, traffic is being slowed down
Well,
everywhere.
Those calming curbs are doing that downtown now, right?
Terrible.
So I believe that there's a good reason to have them in school zones and things like that. But I don't know, when you're trying to get around downtown and there's so much congestion and so much traffic that, I mean, it's just slowing everybody down now. And then reducing the speed limit. Don't even get me started. Oh, okay. So what kind of trade-offs are you talking about here in this situation, Mike?
I think we're talking about lane reductions, traffic congestion, a loss of parking for small businesses. And a lot of small businesses are hurting because the loss of parking. I run a small business, and if they took away my parking on the front street, that would really hurt me. Snow clearing is a challenge in Winnipeg all winter long. And again, I'm not saying bike lanes are bad. I'm saying decisions should be based on data,
Yeah.
not pressure. And I think what they're doing now is, I don't know what they're doing, because you kind of wonder when you look at the infrastructure and how they're putting things together, and how they just spent $400,000 on a temporary park. Can you imagine how many people we could feed, how many people we could get off the streets, how many people we can help, how many families, kids would not have to go to school, hungry. $400,000 is a lot of money, and that's the big reason I brought up the sign. You're talking another, so you add up this $400,000, add up another $300,000, you're at $700,000, add up $1.5 million for bus. You're already at, that's what I'm talking about. It's millions and millions of wasted dollars, and it's coming to the point where people are so frustrated that they're ready to explode because they just can't believe it's happening. And I've talked with so many people, so have you, that are getting extremely high water bills, garbage bills, tax bills, and it's getting hard for families to live and survive.
Absolutely. Some people would argue that bike lanes are about the future, sustainability, and getting people out of cars. Now, look, that's not even an argument anymore. That's just truth. That's what's coming, and I'm not gonna say, you can say what you want, but I've read the documents, I've seen it all online. So I'm not gonna lie to anybody, and our viewers would call me out the minute that I did.
I mean, I respect that, but we also have to deal with reality. We are a winter city.
Right.
And would I ride my bike in the winter? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't even walk in the winter because it's so cold. Never mind getting on a bike. We have extreme weather for a large part of the year. There's no doubt about that.
We're talking about skin freezing in under 2 minutes or a minute with minus 35 plus the wind chill. Okay, like, come on, guys.
So the question really becomes, Brad, are we investing in something that serves the majority of our residents year round, or are we prioritizing something that benefits a small group?
So this is a good one, because as the mayor, do you go into the stats that are put out, whether it's by the city or whether Stats can, and go through some of that and see what the population looks like? Are we sitting with more elderly people? And if so, I don't see them riding too many bikes. Now, if they're the majority of the population,
right,
it doesn't make sense to waste this money on infrastructure for something that isn't there yet. Maybe save it for the future. Maybe allocate it aside and keep building that pot and slush fund for when the city does become that younger generation or that middle-aged generation that wants to do that stuff.
And you know what? For people that say it's criticism, it's not criticism. It's responsible planning. And we need more responsible planning in the city of Winnipeg. And that goes for downtown. That goes for other, another thing that I'm noticing in the city is we've forgotten about downtown completely.
Oh,
it's like a bomb has hit it.
Is it a downtown anymore, really, without everything
Well,
there?
why
I mean,
are we-
Portage Place made such a big
Why are we not
difference.
rebuilding
Eaton's.
the downtown infrastructure and rebuilding from the center out? And that's what we should be doing. And that's how it's
Times
happening.
nightclub, bring that baby
Do you
back.
remember that?
Eh? Of course I remember that. What would you do differently in the city, Mike?
I would start with transparency. And one of the biggest things you're going to get from me is transparency, where, open book policies, being honest with what we're going to do, maybe doing surveys online as we're doing now, to find out what you'd like. Show the public the numbers, usage rates, costs, impact on traffic and businesses. Then prioritize areas where bike lanes actually make sense and are heavily used. And most importantly, I would not move forward with any project if it makes life harder for a majority of the residents without a clear benefit to our city.
Absolutely. So this comes back to your main message then tonight, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's exactly what it does. This is not about being for or against something. It's about making smart decisions. Fix the basics first. And I say that all the time. Go and fix the basics that need to be fixed. And I think that's what the citizens want of Winnipeg, is the bridges open, the roads drivable. It's important for them to have that. And that's what we don't have. Make data-driven choices. Respect every taxpayer's wallet.
I want to stop you there. Every taxpayer, every citizen How about we change that to every citizen? Because it doesn't matter whether they're homeless on the street or not. They need to be taken care of. There's things that need to be done to
Well,
help them,
you
right?
know how big I am on that. I mean, I don't believe anybody should be on the streets. So
Nobody left behind.
one of the plans that I have, and you're going to love it, is well, I can't talk much
That's how
about it
you
right
build
now, but
trust, though, isn't it, Mike?
I could just tell you that in the future, you're not going to be seeing too many people roaming around on the streets homeless.
The things you've done over the past, say, 15 to 20 years since you've owned the funeral homes, um, you've been that advocate of going out in the street, handing out, gift cards out of your own back pocket and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about some of that generosity that you've done.
I don't like talking about what I do to help people, but I mean, you brought it up. So, something you need to know about me as a funeral director, for example, whether the child is indigenous or white or any color, it doesn't matter, any race, we serve all communities, and that's guaranteed. I've never charged for a child that's passed away. It's a way of us giving back
for a funeral,
to a community,
for
funeral services, for anything else. It's something we do from our hearts because it's the kind of person I am. It's not about money. It's about love. And, when a family's struggling and I see a family struggling, and I can share some stories about that. I always carry gift cards in my briefcase when I go out. And when I see somebody who's in a tough situation, I make sure that they have funds where they can go buy groceries. No person should ever go hungry. No person should ever die alone. No person should ever feel left out. Every person in the city should be respected.
Right.
And, I don't want to talk about what I do, but I can tell you that I do a lot for the community. I'm a caring, loving guy with a big heart that feels for people in every situation and tries to make their situation better. And I think that's how you build trust, is by going out and being a true leader, leading, with your heart, not with, statistics.
I agree, Mike. Now let me ask you something. Mike Cherry online had a comment, and I think this is a good one for you to take a look at here for a sec. So, Mike, did you happen to see the last PW meeting? What's a PW meeting? That's at City Hall.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that meeting. No.
Okay. So when the director was talking about construction and tendering costs, but a certain counselor, they wanted to end the meeting and take it offline. You didn't see any, but did you hear anything about that?
I heard about a lot about that.
What was that about? Maybe explain that.
And then there you go with the lack of accountability. Trying to cut off what is right and put an end to it. And that's what's been happening at City Hall for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting off the citizens, making decisions behind their back, closed door meetings, and not allowing the public to be a part of it. And that's part of the problem that we have. And what do you see now? You see Mayor Gillingham out there, every commercial pushing this and that. Well, why are you waiting till now to do this? If you're a mayor, you're not a mayor in your last term. You're a mayor from the minute you get into that office. For the 4 years that you serve the public, and you do it to the best of your ability. If you look outside the mayor's office, right outside his office, you see homeless people and you see people struggling with mental health and addictions. And how can you be a compassionate mayor if you don't care? And in 4 years, you've done nothing. But now you're asking taxpayers to re-elect you?
I've said this to other people who were running for different things, like whether it was a member of parliament or any election along the way. Staying grounded is a big part of all of this. Having leadership maintains groundedness and really keeps you planted. I noticed that Steve Bage came online. I want to mention this.
Hey, Steve.
You should have Steve on the show. Steve is a hilarious guy. He probably could do a 30-minute comedy show to get people warmed up before your next show. He'd be great for that. He's got so many memes that he makes. They're great.
See, I think when people get a guy like Mike Vogiatzakis in the mayor's chair, you're getting a real person.
Well, that's just
there's nothing fake about me. I am who I am. I'm going to stand up for what's right. I'm going to stand up for you. I will be your voice, and I can't be bought. I can't be sold. I'm doing this from my heart for the right reason. Listen, I need to tell you something. I'm very comfortable as a funeral director. I do very well in the funeral business. I'm a leader in the funeral industry, and I'm stepping outside my box only because I want to make change to the city that's going to last forever. I want to leave a footprint on the city.
This wasn't the first guy I saw being mayor going forward at all, guys, and here we are. But if I have trust in anyone, it's Mike. I really can say that.
Well, a lot of respect for that, Brad. And we've known each other for a lot of years. And I think it's time that you need a real person who's going to make real decisions and is going to be accountable to the citizens. But more than that, just watch where your money's being spent.
Yeah.
Make decisions that are logical. Open up our bridges, fix our roads, take care of our infrastructure, have places where our kids can play,
Take care of our people.
take care of our people. Yeah, and just make sure that everyone who works can enjoy a bit of the fruit of their labor, and not make it all about work, 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 but make it more about family and love and togetherness. And that's what a city should be. And for those people that are disrespectful and passing on hate in this world, you need to stop. We need to stop when we need to pull the city together, because if we keep doing what we're doing, nobody's going to step forward to make change in the city, and it's just going to fall apart further and further. So when you have somebody who's willing to stand up, make change, and do it for you, that's an important thing.
Absolutely. What a show it's been for the first one, eh?
Yeah, we thought we'd come on. We didn't think we'd be doing a show tonight, but
I brought my suit, so he says, "Let's do it."
we actually wanted to see how the studio was working and how it would sound and how it would look.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing it back after.
Yeah, I want to go back and look at it ourselves. We don't have any.
Read the comments.
We didn't have any commercials today. We didn't have any music. If you have any comments that you want us to talk about, put them up on the screen. Brad's reading them, and we thank you for joining us. Just remember that starting next week's show, after I'm registered as a mayoral candidate, I will be releasing a big part of my platform right here on my show, in my studio, hopefully with Brad.
Oh, it will be.
Where nobody can change what I said.
Actually, I'm here next week, so you're going to come to my studio again. We're going to do one more from there yet before I actually get that packed up.
You know what I think we should do next week? I think I should be in my studio, you in your studio, because we got to see how that's going to work.
We could test that too.
Yeah,
sure.
So, from next week on, when I'm registered as a mayoral candidate, join us, because we are going to be releasing the platform right here on the show and breaking it down for you so you can understand it.
Yeah.
And making it make sense. Enough of the complaining, enough about talking about what's wrong. Now it's talking about how to fix what's wrong and how to do it properly and how to do it cost effective.
Correct.
So I guess we're going to say goodnight.
That's it.
Thank you for joining us. Hey, it's 10 o'clock too. It was a short show, but seriously, God bless you and your families. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.